Beyond the beat, slow feet don't eat. You went and made it, was your story. Beyond the beat, come talk with Teek. We all can make it, share your story. Beyond the beat, beyond, way beyond the beat, beyond, yeah.
Yo, welcome to the Weekly Close with CIC, where realtors keep it real and drop the knowledge you need about today's market. I'm your host, Teek the Agent, and every week we're breaking it down, the wins, the lessons, and the moves you can make to buy, sell, and invest with confidence. Let's get it.
Hey, y'all. It's Dr. Akai, the realtor, right back at you. I'm so happy to be back here this week, y'all. I've been MIA for a while, but, you know.
I think we all have.
Life be lifing, and it has been for the last couple of weeks for me, so.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Today we have a guest, a special guest. We have Alonso. You want to?
Hey everyone, I'm Alonso. Well, first off, thank you for having me. I'm Alonso with Armored Roofing and Construction. I'm super excited to be here. I love the way the studio looks today. This is crazy. I came in here, I did not expect this.
That's what everybody say.
Most people don't. So thank you, thank you.
That's what everybody say.
It changes every week, just so you know. It's always a little thing. They're like, that wasn't there last week. I'm like, I always find something small to, it's like, oh, I noticed his hand was. Let me get an armrest to put right there.
Oh,
no, I mean that's just the way. That's just the way my mind thinks.
I be having to tell her, bro, like, don't change anything else. It's a professional-looking studio. Like, everybody's comfortable. Everybody's already wowed. You don't need to do anything else, but she's never satisfied when it comes to her business. So, hey, I'm just here so I don't get fired.
and not only that, I came in here, I seen the snacks. I was like, oh man. She's like, you want a Red Bull? I was like, I didn't. And then all the glasses over there, I was like, I felt like I needed to have a couple outfits doing this.
Oh, you don't know if you're getting your makeup done, a photo shoot, or a podcast, or we can sell you a house as well. So
there we go. There we go. All one.
All in the same room.
Oh, and that theme song too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
right.
Okay.
Shout out to J Mello. J Mello. If you need a theme song, he'll hook you up.
I ain't that important.
It really is. I feel like
you need a roofer theme song. He can make one.
I might need one. I feel like it was like almost a power, it felt like a power, like a legit theme song.
Yeah. It's legit. It is. He's a legit artist. He's a legit Arizona artist, and he went to a studio to create that.
That was fire.
Yeah, with no input for me. He just know me, so he kind of knew what to say. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that was man.
Right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're a roofer, and like I was telling you earlier, being a roofer is like one of the sought-out vendors as a real estate agent that we're seeing more of, almost more than plumbers, which is crazy because usually everyone wants their bathroom added or reconstructed. It's like, oh no, I need to see what that roof look like. Mm-hmm. So we will be, you'll be getting a lot of referrals from us because it's hard. It seemed like it's easy, but it's kind of hard to find a reliable roofer. So.
Oh, 100%. So I got my start when I was 18 years old. I was actually working at I'm going to give you my elevator pitch real quick.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I was working at Taco Bell KFC. I was 18 years old. I was a shift manager working there. And back then I was making I think it was like $9.50 an hour. And I had got a call from my wife, and she was like, hey, we're going to be having kids. And I was like, no, I kind of figured that. But she had told me, she was like, but we're having twins.
Oh, that changes the game.
Look, who said that?
Seriously.
Who said that?
No, so I was cool with one. That was good. I was cool with one. And then when I got that information about two, I was like, how am I going to afford supporting myself, my wife, and then 2 babies on the way making $9.50 an hour? It's like
impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
And so ironically, I got a call from one of my best friends, and he was like, what do you think about getting into sales? And this is all the same day. And I was like, does it pay more than $9.50 an hour? And he was like, yeah, I can. And I was like,
That's
okay, awesome. I'm gonna do it. And I literally, the next day, I literally quit Taco Bell. I was like, I can't stay here.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so I went into sales, but this was working for like a AC company. And we were doing actually door to door. And I had no experience doing that, but I knew I needed to provide for my family. So I was like, I kind of have no choice. And so I ended up working for that company and doing the door to door thing. And it really kind of just built me up as a person because, you know, when you knock on a door and you get yelled at or screamed at or the door is slammed on you, it builds your
We
skin.
know the feeling.
We
Yes.
talk about that all the
Yes,
time.
We know the feeling.
As women, and today's economy and just the world in general, it's not really safe for us to be knocking on doors like that. I always think about the safety. Yeah, you're gonna yell or you're gonna say no or what are you doing on my property? But it's just the things that's going on in the world today that makes it more difficult to approach somebody on their property, personal property, you know, their private property. So back in the day, they probably was knocking like crazy, but like now I think about all the things that can happen. And I keep saying, I'm not going to be a Netflix special. I'm not going to be a Netflix special. So I'm not doing it.
No, that's 100% true because that was one of the experiences I had. Someone actually pulled like a rifle out on me.
Oh my God. See,
And it kind of was just a flash, but obviously I'm still here today, God
Yeah,
willing.
yes,
But
thank you.
it was just doing those experiences. It just builds your personality, builds your character, makes you have that thick skin. And after I did it enough, I kind of just let all that stuff go. At first, I kind of had an issue kind of door knocking, especially in certain areas. You know, being African American, I kind of put up like a stigma, like to go to certain areas because I was like, you know, they see me, they might, you know, I'm tall, I'm, you know.
You're aggressive looking.
Yes, and especially if I don't have my glasses on.
Why was I just finna say that? I was just finna say, don't take your glasses off.
Yes.
I was just going to, you better have some kind of vision impairment for people to feel safe. And I hate that, right? Like, but it happens with us. That's a whole nother podcast that we were gonna talk about because we do have those troubles of that. So
Yeah, so I used to wear contacts, but I got this because I felt like it was more calm and
how
when people see me.
about I wear contacts and I just wear non-prescription glasses to make people feel calm.
Oh, I thought those were prescription for sure.
No,
but then I
ma'am.
was like, you got a lot of pairs for prescription, so
No, sir.
okay.
Highest is
Yeah.
$20.
Those-
No, the price is in my eyes. This is where it costs.
The glasses,
but it
are
does-
they're more inviting, and
Yes.
they are more like, okay, maybe he's not such a threat. He can't hardly see me.
100%.
I could just knock his glasses off and
literally.
run.
I mean, just to be honest, you know.
Yeah. And so I had done that for a while with the AC, but then I saw someone when I was door knocking, and you know we were just going back and forth. I was like, oh, you know, how many leads did you get today? And he was like, oh, I got like 10. And I'm like, oh man, you don't have to, like, I'm just asking, bro. You don't have to lie or anything like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I really got 10. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, what do you do? And he's like, I do roofing. And I was like, okay. And so literally this was in 2008 when we had the $1 billion hailstorm out here. And so when he said that, I did some research on the internet and I was like, okay, this guy's not lying.
Right.
And so once I found that out, I was like, okay, I got to switch career fields. And that's when what I did is I just literally got on the internet, started calling roofing companies. I just started calling them. I was like, I'm going to call them, try to see if I can set up a meeting.
Right.
Well, I had like my friends at the time that they were looking for jobs too. So I was like, you know what? I'll bring a group of us in here and approach it. And so I ended up making calls. And then the one company that I found, I met up with him. The owner happened to be in town. And then I just literally winged it on the spot. And I was like, hey, what do you think about hiring all of us? And he's like, okay, well, how much do you want? And I was like, X, Y, and Z. But I was like, hey, we don't have any money right now. So can you give us some money today?
Oh my God.
And he was like, how much you thinking? And so I told him, and I was just, I just was firm and confident. And he looked at me in the eye. We looked at each other, and I just stood there. And he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna do it."
I know your heart was like,
God.
I was because I was trying to bring up everybody around me. So I wanted to make sure we were secure trying to get this job. We can't just be driving around, no gas money, no food money. And so he gave us that start. And then fast forward, I worked there, but then I started working for other roofing companies because they were kind of like a fly-by-night, to be honest. They like had just came into town to capitalize on that storm.
Yeah.
And then they had left. But I had fell in love with being in the roofing industry. I wanted to continue. So I had worked for a bunch of different roofing companies. I mean, it was like a ton. But the biggest problem I had was they would be like, hey, if you do this much, we're going to pay you this much.
Quotas.
Yes, quotas. Yes. And so every time I'd go back home to my wife and I'd be like, oh man, this is going to be crazy. And so I did that enough where my wife was just like, I don't think this is making sense. You're building up all these companies, but you're not getting the return that they told you about. And so I actually ended up pivoting. I pivoted and I was like, I'm going to go into the medical field. But I realized I can't draw blood. I can't see people doing that. I can't cut people open. I can't do any of that stuff. So the only thing that I thought that I could do in that field was I was like, I'm going to become a pharmacist. And so I just jumped ship and I went to work for this extended care pharmacy.
That was not on my bingo card.
No.
I know, right? I'm like, well,
That was not on my bingo card.
talk about a jack of all trades.
Wow.
Yeah, so I ended up doing that for like a few years. I ended up doing that for a few years. But what ended up happening is, again, one of my friends called me and he was like, hey, man, I'm working for this roofing company. And I was like, nah, dude, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. And he's like, no, you need to come. Like, let me come pick you up. I'm going to come to your house. I'm going to come pick you up. And I was like, I don't even think it's up to me. It's up to my wife this time because I've already sold her all these dreams.
I know, right?
I sold her all this stuff. And so he comes and picks me up and he has this like flashy car. It was like an Infiniti G35. And I was like, oh man, like wow, this is a crazy car. He took me out to Applebee's, nothing crazy, but he paid for everything. So I was like,
good
okay.
enough. Look,
it was.
enough.
It was. And so I ended up actually getting back into it. But the problem, again, is I ended up getting back into it, but they said, hey, you guys reach this quota, you do this, you do that. I ended up doing it. They didn't pay me again. And so at that point, it was kind of like, it was pretty devastating for me. But I ended up he ended up wanting to start a roofing company, the guy that originally called me to bring me in. So this is where it gets even more crazy. So he's like, well, you have more experience than me. What do you think about taking the test to get your roofing license? Because he's like, you've been doing this for over 5 years. I don't have that much experience. And I was like, I mean, I can do it, but I was like, I got a wife and kids. I got to support. Like, I can't just be going to school, not making any money. And he was like, well, what if I pay you to go to school?
Oh.
And I was like, so you're going to pay me and all I got to do is go to school. And he's like, yeah, go to school, study, pass the test. I said, okay. So I ended up going to the trade school that they had at that time. I ended up going there for 3.5 months. And I ended up taking the test. They had like a business portion, the roofing portion. I ended up passing both tests. But the craziest part is I took one of these tests and I had talked to a friend and he's like, hey, when you take a test, go with your gut. And so I was like, okay. And so I'm taking the test. And there was a few answers. I was like, I think I'm going to change the answer. And then I was like, nah, I'm going to go with my gut.
Yep.
And literally, I passed that test by 1 point. I'm not kidding. Yes, by 1 point. And it was literally one of those things where I was about to change the answer, and I'm so happy I did.
That is awesome. That's awesome. 1 point. Just 1 point.
1 point, literally. The business portion, I aced it, but the actual other portion, it was just 1 point. And so I was happy. I passed. Didn't matter. I passed. I passed. And so I felt good. And so we ended up starting the company because now we have the license.
Yes.
And so we ended up, but it wasn't like under me. I was just working as the license holder for him. It was his company.
Yeah.
And so I ended up working for him and, things were going good. We were crushing it. I was running his whole sales team. Within the first year, we did 2.5 million. So I was like, man, we're doing great.
That's amazing. That is dope.
Yeah.
That's super dope. That's super dope.
It was crazy, but that's where the shift kind of changed. So he had promised me a lot of things.
Yeesh.
And, I kept seeing him live his lifestyle, which I was fine with. I was like, you're the owner, you're the boss, do your thing, but just give me what you promised me. That's all I want. I don't want anything more.
Right.
But yeah, you can have the big old house, you can have the vehicles. I don't care. As long as you give me what you told me you would. So my wife's happy because that's what I told her, then we're good to go.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it didn't work out that way.
Man,
That's like the perfect one.
Like, this sounds like, I hear this same story too often in our industry. So
I'm gonna say this sounds like real estate,
right? Anything like in real estate, inclusive of roofing, inspectors, appraisers, like lenders. Like we hear this so often. We have the brains and the hands and the talent, right, to do it, and then we join a company thinking that this is gonna be lucrative for us, and then we turn around and we're building somebody else's business
every time.
Yes.
Instead of
Our own.
and the bad part about it, like all you got to do is do what you said you was gonna do.
That's it. That's why we came.
We're not even at. Well, I'm gonna speak for myself. Would I like $1 million? Absolutely. Do I need $1 million? No, not really. I'm not trying to be out here, selling sunset. I want to make a decent amount of money to live my life and my family so we can live our lives comfortably. All you got to do is do what you said you're going to do when I came and joined your company.
But people don't do that.
If you tell me I'm going to be making this amount of money,
that's what I expect.
that's what I expect. If you tell me I'm going to get this amount of leads, that's what I expect. I'm not going to work any less. I'm going to give you everything that I told you I'm capable of giving you when you hire me. But then you turn around and I don't get it. That's a slap in the face.
Right.
Because you didn't lack anything.
But you paid for that work. You paid for my work. I did the work. So that's the thing, right? It's like you show up for a job, you put 8 hours and they say, yeah, we're not going to pay you today. It's like, people can get hurt over stuff like that, but we sit back and, we like, okay, I have a family, I have a license, I can't jeopardize that. So we take a lot of stuff on the chin and keep on going. But yeah, so.
And that's what I did. I literally wrote it out with him for almost 2 years, even though he wasn't paying me what he told me he was.
Yeah.
But I was like, no,
Just
he's
to
going
sustain,
to. He's going to. He's just trying to get, stuff set up. But it came to a point that I knew it wasn't going to happen. And so I remember just reaching out to him and being like, hey, like, I don't think I can do this anymore. But my biggest issue was like, I was thinking to myself, I was like, well, when I got this license, I got the license under his company, but I had called the ROC and I asked him, I was like, so how does that work? I took the test, I passed the test. Is this my license technically? And they were like, well, look, the license number you have for his company, that's his, but you can start your own thing. And I was like,
what if you never asked that question?
Exactly. I was like, really?
And it doesn't sound like he was going to tell you that either.
No, he never said a word about that.
Yeah.
And so once I found that out, I basically let him know, hey, I don't think this is going to work out anymore. And I went home to my wife and I was like, hey, I left the job. And she was like, well, I don't think that's a bad idea. She's like, why don't you just start your own roofing company?
Yep.
She's like, just start your own roofing company. She's like, you know everything anyways. You know how to run everything. You know how to do everything. She's like, why don't you just start it? And I was like, okay, well, that's why I married you. And then,
my better half.
Listen.
My business half.
And then the funny thing is that night, she thought of the name Armored Roofing.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that's perfect because it's an A. So if you go on Google or if you look us up.
Shout out to your wife.
Yes.
Because wives, man, we be on it. We be on it. We be on it. It comes to us.
It really does. And I don't think if I had that push from her, I probably wouldn't have done it because nobody was like, she was a cheerleader in my court. Like, no, we can do this. I'm like,
you only need one person.
You only do.
I promise you.
You do. And the fact that she believed in me so much, it made me be like, I mean, if you believe in, I can do it then.
Yeah.
I know I can do it. And so literally it just happened right after that. I ended up starting the company. This was in December of 2017.
Wow. And we're in 26.
Yes, and the rest is like history.
That is so awesome.
I'm just super fortunate because I try to tell people that when you're kind of with someone and you're a business owner, they have to be like with you in the trenches too.
So pause.
Talk about it.
We know our husbands are in the trenches with us because, you know, we'll have lucrative months and we'll have months where we don't get a dime, you know, so we need that support system and for them to pour into us, even if it's, you know, you got this, keep going, you know. So even those little bitty words, they mean so much. They weigh so heavy and help us to get up every day and do the things that we love to do. Like my husband come up here and he be like, what is all of this? And I'm like, yeah, this is the studio. You know, he just trusts my vibe. He trusts that I'm going to make the right decisions. And we, you know, we encourage each other. So definitely, you know, you only need team of one.
That's it.
And I'm an only child, so it's always been me. So having a +1 is amazing.
And it's those, like you said, it's those words of affirmation.
Oh my gosh. It's simple.
It is.
You like, oh, I hate myself. Oh, come on, let's do this. You got this. You like, oh, I guess I do.
Yeah. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said, December 2017 we started, and you know, we specialize in roofing, but we actually do more than just roofing. So we're a full-fledged construction company. So what ended up happening is I kept going and doing everyone's roof. I kept doing the roof, and they're like, "Hey, Alonso, you want to paint my house?"
Yeah,
and I'm like,
because we got other questions.
Yes. And I was like, I mean, yes, I would love to paint your house, but I'm not set up like that right now.
Okay.
And then they would be like, Alonso, you know, we trust you. You want to do our flooring? Man,
Let me find out that you do other stuff.
I said jack of all trades. I already said it.
I'm listing it in my head. Like,
telling
okay, okay. So what I said in the beginning was true. You're highly sought out after for a vendor, like gym right now.
yes.
I didn't even know about the other stuff. I just knew roofer because they're so hard to find. And when we do find you for a client, it's, you know, we haven't built that trust, so I can just provide the contact with caution. Right. And I don't like providing contacts with caution. Right. Because we're relationship based. And so I want to give a warm handoff, you know, to my clients and be like, oh, no, I know you're in good hands. Yeah. You know what I mean? So we're adding to our roster, and a roofer was one that Austin is like, oh no, I got one. I'm like, what? Yeah. Okay. You know, so when you responded back, I'm like, oh my God, he gonna come. Okay.
Oh
so,
yeah. No.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's weird. Like the roofing industry honestly has like a really like bad name, like just roofers in general, which is, it's unfortunate, but it just comes with the game.
Yeah.
And so I feel like, you know, I'm just trying to spread light that there is good people out here. You can get a good service. And what I try to tell other people I work with, you know, we're in construction. Things can happen, but I tell people it's how you respond when something happens.
Yes.
You respond quickly.
Yes.
You know, respond with a solution.
Right.
Don't try to argue with the person. You know, just come out there and, you know, I think I'm going to go back to my wife again. She always tells me, you know, she's like, Alonso, you got to listen sometimes. Just listen. She's like, don't try to come up with a rebuttal. Don't try to say this. Listen to them, because sometimes you can just listen to someone and that will clear it.
Oh yeah.
Just by listening.
You don't even have to explain.
You don't have to say anything.
And they answer, like you said, they're going to answer their own questions most of the time. They just need you to listen. We are specialized in that skill of listening, because like you said, it saves us in explaining if you're already talking and you're going to say it anyway, and I'm just going to confirm or deny. So yeah, listening will save us a world of trouble. Now we're going to go down this list, right? So roofing, contract work. What do you feel comfortable in doing in contractor? So you said painting, right? But I can paint, but I don't want to, right? So it got to be those other things that you like, oh my God, I love to do flooring. Like what's a balance to roofing for you?
So typically when I do a roof, it's like right when I do someone's roof, we're going to paint their house typically.
Okay.
That's kind of like our bread and butter. And I like doing that because then I can combine the two.
And you are already, okay.
Yes.
Got you.
And
You're
so
already up here.
And that's the thing. I'm already here. I've been here. I've seen your house.
Yeah.
And so I love doing that. But what I've been like falling in love with, I would say, is backyard remodels.
Oh, wow.
Sir, can we pause and just do an assessment? Because, yes, I am a backyard. Oh, my gosh. Backyard and bathrooms is my jam. I'm slowly inching away from kitchens. Kitchens is cool, but backyard and bathrooms have been my jam lately, but more so the backyards.
I just got done doing a backyard for someone, and they were like, I don't think I'm going to be able to afford this. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. And I was just like, just give me an opportunity to come out there.
Yeah.
And
Just to give me an
just to
estimate.
give it to you. I was
Yeah.
like, there's no pressure. I'm not charging you for the estimate. You're only 10 minutes from my house anyway.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even a thing. And so she was like, all right, I'm going to let you come out. And so she had her backyard. It was like hills of dirt everywhere. It was
Gotcha.
all uneven. And so I ended up grading her whole backyard. I added pavers in the whole backyard.
You are speaking my language.
I re-pebble tech the pool.
I can't do this right now. We need to go to Home Depot.
I redid the tiles in there. I added a dog run.
Oh yeah,
gosh.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's a passion because
We are
Yes,
doing this.
I am
I
am so excited.
We can benefit from this in our own homes, but ma'am, we need him to do this for other people's homes that don't know he exists.
Well, if y'all listening to this podcast, you
Yes.
know he exists. But I need to test him out before I hand him over. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about that. And I love that there's something else that you're passionate about. So I do real estate, but I'm also passionate about designing. I'm passionate. I know, right? It's something about it. And that's why I tell her, Akai, I'm in here a lot trying to figure stuff out,
Yeah.
right? And for me, my podcast is separate from my house, right? For me, my house is downstairs because my room is downstairs. So when I come up here, it's business. I'm not leaving from up in this area for almost 2-3 hours, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to get these sound bites on here. And I'm like, okay. While I'm doing that, I'm like I said, I'm always looking for something that can make it better. If I see Akai moving this too often, I'm gonna look for a better one like I did. These are new.
love the colors.
No, so this whole stand, like I had ones that sit on the side, but they kept tilting over. And I was like, okay, Amazon, it gotta be one that's flat and that can go behind. Yes, it is. There's something for that. So I'm always trying to solve problems. And I am that solution person for myself, and it helps me with my clients as well. So I'm always trying to be the plug for people. Like, oh yeah, I got somebody for that. They gonna call me. Hold on, I got somebody for that. You know what I mean? So I try to be that outside of my regular life as well. But it's getting worse the older I get. I notice, like, I'm always trying to solve things.
Problem solver.
Well,
Yeah.
in this industry, you kind of got to be, right? Because we deal with a lot of first-time home buyers. They don't know what to even ask, for that matter. They don't know what to expect, what the process is. And so you have to understand what their pain points are, and then help resolve whatever issue that might arise in the
Right.
transaction. And not just during the transaction, but after the transaction as well. So it sounds like, with us giving them a warm handoff to your company, they could have more pain points other than the roof.
Yes.
If
And
you
that's
need your back,
amazing.
you just bought
Oh my
this house and
gosh.
you are entertaining family. Like, man, I need my backyard done. I don't know where to start. Well, guess what? We have a solution for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so all of us have to be that problem solver, or like that point of contact, at least that resource, because a lot of people just don't even know where to start. So I'm excited to hear about all of this. This is
I'm
great.
just- yes.
And for me, I know I shouldn't do this, but for me, I'm like, dang, I wish I had known you 2 years ago.
Right. Right.
Dang, I
Right.
wish I knew this existed a year ago. You know what I'm saying? Because again, we encounter a lot of vendors who just don't do what they say they're gonna do.
Right.
Or if we if we have a customer that we refer to them, they're referring or handing off our customer to somebody else. No, I know you. I don't want you to give my client to someone else. I know you. I'm giving you my client and entrusting my client with you. Don't hand them off. And so hearing that not only you can you do the roofing thing, but you have other pain points that you can meet for the client, it's good. I like that.
And to follow up with everything too, I'm very familiar with how everything works as far as your industry goes. Like if you guys need that Benzer done and you need the inspection report, 24, I can get it to you in 24 hours. If you're like,
That's
hey,
what we need.
I need it today in 3 hours, all right, I got you. I'm gonna get this done to you in 3 hours.
Man.
That's awesome.
Because I've realized that's what's gonna put me
It's gonna
above
make
everybody.
or break. It's gonna make or break our transaction, and then we know that the roof funds can be put aside in escrow for them after they close. So that's an even big.
Oh, that's a good question.
That's speaking our
so
language.
do you? I'm gonna let you talk.
Y'all can't see him. Y'all can't see him, but go
I'm
ahead.
gonna let you talk about it.
So my mind's just going because
Yeah,
I already know what you guys are good at.
Yeah.
So I do a lot with escrow. So like if someone's like, hey, can you wait till escrow to get the funds for the roof? Absolutely. Absolutely.
That is amazing. Oh my God. Because 9 times out of 10 they don't have the funds to after.
it's
I mean,
sold.
but they're secure.
Yeah.
They just not going to get it to after. But our escrow title escrow company will hold them for you.
What about like with sellers, right? Sellers know I want to put my house on the market, but this roof is trash. Is that a possibility? Right now, average days on market is about 60, 65 days. And they want to go ahead and get the roof fixed, which adds more value to their home. Is that a possibility with your company? The sellers can actually hire you to do the work, and then, or maybe even do the work at the close of escrow. That's a promise that they can make to the buyer client. Hey, you'll have a new roof.
So that's
is that possible?
Oh, 100%.
Is it still escrow? Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
So we can. I'm willing to work. So we can do the escrow, or if someone wants to pay, and then even if someone has a timeline, I just had one that someone was like, well, I need this roof done in 3 weeks because this, X, Y, and Z. And I said, okay. I said, that works for me. Just sign right here and then we'll get it going. So we're always willing to work, and I can move around the schedules to accommodate people when it comes to that. Because like I said, I'm very understanding of deadlines and people, needing things to be done at a certain time.
Okay.
Ding 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 ding.
Right.
But I also want to add to that. Sometimes that the roof doesn't need to be replaced. So there's sometimes
I was gonna ask that next. That's funny.
So there's sometimes there might be 10 broken tiles that need replaced.
Okay.
There might need
because everybody say, "Oh, it's been 20 years. I need a new roof." I'm like,
not necessarily.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
Okay.
It just depends. So we do the maintenance. I love doing maintenance for people because I could do maintenance for you. And I actually just had this 2 days ago. Someone just had broken tiles and mortar caps that needed to be replaced. And so I ended up doing that for them. And they called me about 3 to 4 years later. And now they want the whole roof replaced.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so for me, it's like, you never know someone's financial situation.
Right.
You just got to go and help people out. And just do the right thing, because there's been times I've gone to done a roofing inspection and I come off the roof and I'm like, everything looks good. And I don't know what to tell you guys, but everything's good. And they're like, so there's nothing up there? I was like, no. I was like, if you want, I could charge you, but there's nothing up here. But some people are like, why do you do that? And I'm like, you never know what opportunity could present yourself by going to the house. Right. I'll go to houses, they don't need anything. Then the neighbor's like, hey, can you inspect my roof? I'm like, yes, I can.
Absolutely,
right.
I can.
Right.
And so you just never know. So for me, I'm just going to go see what's there. And then other things are going to arise just by me being present.
Absolutely. And I think too, like that's, again, part of the industry, right? So I'm going to be the agent that will go and show a house if they don't have a pre-qual. I'm okay with that because I feel like eventually, or in a sense, you'll never know what you're going to miss in that client. Hey, if it's not this client I'm showing this house to, it might be the client next door. Hey, I want to sell my house. Can you sell my house? You just don't know. So show up. Always show up,
Right.
But
okay, I have four. I'm sorry. I have 4 more questions, and then we're gonna wrap up. Okay, what's the most expensive roof mistake you've seen prior to you? So you up on the roof, and some repair has been done.
I would say the biggest mistake is when someone has damage, but they're like, oh, well, in Arizona it doesn't rain, so we're gonna just leave it like this because we only get rain 2 times a year, and then they get that 2 times a year rain, and now they got drywall damage. We got to replace their insulation. And so it's like a piggyback effect of if you would have just, done the roof, then you wouldn't have to pay for all your drywall, or now your flooring needs to be replaced. It can, compile with things by not just being like taking care of the initial issue.
Okay. What's the biggest lie homeowners believe about roofs?
That we have to replace all the tiles on the roof.
Yep.
I'm
Because
like,
we don't know.
You don't have to
We
replace
never
all the tiles.
We ain't never been up there. We
Right.
ain't never going up there. So we kind of just one thing needs to be repaired. The whole thing needs to be repaired.
Right.
One thing inspectors don't always catch.
not lifting up tiles. Sometimes they just take like overview pictures and they don't dig deep into it. And so it's like,
They tell us to get a roofer.
yes, that's all I see. It's like, you need to hire a professional roofer to take a look. And I'm like, all I do is I just lifted the tile real quick and I was like, you see this underlayment? And then took a picture of it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to wrap up. If you want to shout out how our viewers can reach out to you.
Yes, so you can follow us on Instagram, Armored Roofing. Follow us on Facebook, Armored Roofing. Our website is www.armoredroofingusa.com. And then you can call us at 623-242-7122.
Awesome. Okay, this was a powerful conversation. Roofs are one of those things people don't think about until it's too late. But today we gave you the game before the problem hits. If you're a homeowner, buyer, or seller, don't sleep on your roof. It can make or break your deal, your finances, and your peace of mind. Huge thank you to our guests for dropping real knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Alonso.
Beyond the beat.